Hello everyone, we are live now. Today our discussion is really important and too interesting, and then we have many guests with us who are working as expert in the biking and in outdoor activities and adventures and related work, and then we will all hear about um, those amazing stories from Lapland. And this discussion is a part of Visit Lapland's initiative to discuss about different issues of Lapland tourism, and then we are doing it regularly. And today, in the theme of biking in Lapland and outdoor adventures, we will talk with all our uh, prestigious guests. So, if I introduce first from the top, here is Marko Kiviranta. He is an
Hello.
entrepreneur and guide and working in Ylläs area in Hideltrace, Lapland is his own company where he is also working as a guide, and then he's an active biker and then like working in this biking industry for a long time. And then here we have Reetta Keisanen. She is
Hi.
also an expert in the sector, and then she is at the moment working in Ramboll, Finland, as a sustainable mobility expert.
Yes.
Am I right, Reetta?
Yes, that's correct. And at
Okay.
the moment, I'm remote working from Ylläs also.
Okay, great. And then we have Joel Kauppinen, who is the project manager at the moment, and then he have long experience working with different kind of outdoor activities, especially which is connected with biking and in the northern areas. And at the moment, he is a project manager of Ylläs all year round, one project which is working mainly in Ylläs Kolari area. And Joel can tell us more thing about those projects and how this biking is becoming a popular outdoor activity in the area in Lapland, and what is the plan, and then how are the things going. So we can hear many more things from Joel.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we work with the all year round tourism. We try to develop the summer time to be more active. At the moment, the winter time here at Ylläs is kind of full, and the summer time we have a lot of capacity that we want to use also. The main topic in this project is mountain biking, and why we have chosen mountain biking, it's because here we have many active companies who has seen it as a potential way to develop the summer tourism. It's also proven that by developing mountain biking, it's possible to develop the whole area, and often the mountain biking people they are found as good guests. They like to use the services,
Yeah.
and they spend more time in one location than the other tourists in the summertime.
Yeah, that's true, because I think like the idea is that like increasing the summer tourists, or like who are coming actually, people when know that Lapland is popular for winter destination or winter activities, but I think like nowadays it's also a big possibilities for Lapland or North to like show those experiences or show those possibilities what people can do also even in summertime. And then summer can be very interesting, like in mountain biking and in other options.
Yeah.
How do you Reetta see this?
Yeah, I see also Lapland and Ylläs could be like showing for the world how it is like cool to be winter cycling, because in many places it's a problem that people are cycling in the summertime but not in the winter time. So in Lapland we have winter cyclists already, so we can show for the world that how fun it is. And in my work, we are mainly focusing on traffic issues, and especially in bicycle traffic. So we are planning like bicycle roads and typical roads, but trying to include cycling on the roads everywhere. So that's the main job we are doing.
Yeah, I think like there are like in the recent times there are many different kinds of development projects were going on concerning with the biking, especially in Ylläs area or in Saariselkä, in also in Rovaniemi. I know like some companies, or at least one company, they are doing really good work considering these to develop these biking related outdoor activities. And then like here Marko is also like one entrepreneur himself. And then how, Marko, you see this that increasing these biking tourism, if I say?
Yeah, yeah, I've definitely seen it. I've been an entrepreneur here in Ylläs area, taking people to ride bikes on mainly on the winter time. The Ylläs winter trails are really nice, and I've seen the growth definitely. Like 3 last winters. Okay, this winter was as it was, but until that point, it was really good. But I've seen the growth definitely. So some people have been doing a really good job to promote it. So it's getting better and better, and of course here in Lapland the thing that people think that it's, well, the winter tourism is a big thing here, but what Joel is doing is really important, because I'm a mountain biker, and there's a lot of potential for summer also. But I think that at the time, the winter biking here is so special that at the time it's even better than mountain biking in the summer. But it's getting there.
Yeah,
definitely.
Maybe like there are many things what Joel can share us, like what kind of development work like at the moment going on, or how do you see like how it can be, for example, like more there create more possibilities, for example, for summer biking or summer activities. It can be mountain biking and other things. How it was in the recent days or years.
I would say that to be an interesting biking destination, for that the trail is the king. The trails has to be in a good condition, and there has to be enough trails to bike. Like here, we are pretty far away from the capital and from the Europe. That are the interesting markets. It means that if we have trails for 1 or 2 or 3 days, it's not enough for people to be interested to come here for biking. But if we would have trails, let's say for a week, for 10 days, it's much easier to be attractive. In Ylläs, we have been, we can say that the mountain biking was established here in early 90s. It didn't go that high at that time, so it was just a small amount of people doing it. Not like a main activity. The main activity traditionally here in summertime has been hiking in autumn time when the colors are coming. But then now, summer 17 national park, that is just on a corner here at Ylläs ski resort, they opened most of the trails for mountain biking. and it means that we have a huge potential for biking, and now it's bikeable maybe 200-250 kilometers of trails around here. And then the national park, it's the Finnish Parks and Wildlife who takes care of them. They are developing the trails in the national park. And then we have trails outside of the national park, and then it's the municipality and the Ylläs Travel Association who takes care of the trails outside the national park. In the winter time, it's the Ylläs Travel Association who takes care of the winter biking trails.
Yeah, I think like there is one, for example, here in the trail things, because there, like these for mountain biking, for example, you need to have certain kind of trails where people can actually like have their own tours, or during their outdoor activities they can use those trails. But I don't know like how many of those, for example, at the moment in Ylläs area are developed.
We have several that are developed, and this summer we're gonna, for the Parks and Wildlife Finland, they will prepare more. But it's mostly shared trails, so it means that it's developed for bikers and for hikers. There are only a few trails that are planned only for biking. We have also a bike park here that you can take lift up, gondola up with a bicycle, and then there are some tracks that you can ride down. And this summer they're gonna probably open the T-bar lift also for that activity. So when it's very windy, it's not possible to run the gondola, so we have another opportunity then to use the T-bar lift.
Yeah, like Ylläs is like in the recent years, I think like Ylläs is really kind of developed quite fast regarding this mountain biking and fed biking, and also like kind of a cycling in general. So there, I think like there was quite many development works were going on. How do you see, Reetta, these development?
Well, I totally agree with Joel that the infra is one of the most important issues when promoting cycling, and it's also in mountain biking, but also in road biking. And if you want to be like a cycling capital or a cycling city or a cycling destination, then you need to have the cycling roads or the paths where to go, and that's one of the main important things to have. And in Lapland, there is a lot of happening. In Ylläs, there is like a lot of good roads, but also Levi is making new roads, and our company is making new roads for Ruka. So there is a lot of things happening. And then there is also like Eurovelo roads going through Finland, and there is like development going on the south, but I wish we could see that also in Lapland someday. So let's hope for that also.
Yeah, you are working as a sustainable mobility expert. Like
Yeah.
how you are connected with this development in the biking tourism or this biking outdoor activities.
Yeah, we are doing a lot of like cycling strategies for the cities. Like at the moment we are doing for Raasepori, which is more south, but then we are like thinking the whole municipality and the area, what are the main issues, how we can help cities and municipalities to get people cycling more. And there one issue, one like topic is also tourism, but then it's like also traffic issue, but also like how to get the kids learn to cycle. So there's many aspects, and we are doing those strategies, but then we are also like planning the roads. And actually there is one new cycle path coming to Ylläsjärvi, and that's also planned by our company. And then we are planning also mountain biking routes for destinations like Ruka.
Yeah. Can you say us like what kind of the length of the trails, or how long it is, or about something about those roads, like which are going to open in, for example, in Ylläsjärvi or in Ruka?
Well, in Ylläsjärvi, it's like a traditional cycle path, like next to the road. So I think it's like under 1 kilometer, if I remember right. And in Ruka, there is many mountain bike roads coming, but I don't remember exactly how many. But it depends of the destination and about the plan. It might be just like a short link that is missing, or then it might be like a whole master plan for the area.
Okay, yeah. I think it's really interesting. Like when certain areas, for example, if these biking outdoor activities are centered in some areas, let's say in Ylläs, for example, then if there are like different kind of trails or different roads are opening, and then if we can combine those, then it can be a big like space for local entrepreneurs who are working in this tourism sector.
Yeah. And also there's like almost always when the mountain biking is growing, then the like bicycle traffic is also growing because people are also cycling to the stores and to the schools. So you need to like develop the mountain biking, but also like the bicycle traffic roads. So both are important at the same time.
Yeah, like this again. This it comes about this developing the infrastructures.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And when you have the infrastructure, then you can have the services, which Marko is doing and helping and doing the services.
Yeah, like one of the like UL's work is like the project itself says that Ylläs all year round. It means that like the main concentration is during the summer, autumn, that time, like when people are not like really used to come to Lapland for outdoor activities. What kind of developmental plan like at the moment you are doing, or the possibilities you see?
What we do here with the project, we do a plan how to develop the trails. Like I said, it's very important, but we also coach the companies to be bike friendly, to develop their services. Then we are doing some material that shows what kind of biking we have here. Take pictures, make some short films,
Yeah.
and then of course we go to the exhibitions and so on, and try to show to the market what kind of biking potential we have here. But it's very important to have the companies who are here involved with the project.
Yeah.
We have a lot of workshops,
Yeah.
workshops about the how to develop good customer service, what
Yeah.
kind of products, how to develop products. And also we're gonna do some little coaching about biking this summer, so they know what they are selling.
Yeah, I think what you said, like this potential, I think this is much more important. Like, how do you explore this potentiality in the area? For example, like there, like you need to make the trails, you need to make those infrastructure working, and then what Reetta said that like it's not that just these mountain bike trails. It's also like the other roads and connections. So they are also kind of important. Like, do you well see any kind of statistics, like how in the recent days, like for example, local entrepreneurs are having those biking tours or biking activities? Are they increased, or do you have any kind of
Yes,
information?
I can check. I cannot remember exactly the numbers, but I can check some numbers from here. I'll have to find the fresh one. So the amount of rental bikes
Yeah.
has been increased from 2018 to 2019, 25% percentage, and then the electric bikes has been increased 36% from summer 18 to summer 19.
Okay, great.
And the rental and the guide services and other activity services the increase has been 95% from summer 18 to summer 19. This summer we cannot really know what to expect. We are waiting to have Finnish clients here, but it's not really known how they're gonna act this summer, if they are using a lot of services or if they just rent the cabin and stay there. But anyways, it's very strong growth, but still, because the amount of people and money in the summertime is not that much yet, so this high growth numbers in money, it's about 350,000 euros or something like that in one summer, the whole rental and activity sell. One thing that I forgot to mention is that how to get here, because it's so far away. It's important to take care that we have some kind of connections, also public transportation. In the summertime, most of the people are driving here by their own car.
Yeah.
But we are working also for developing better connections with railways and airports and buses.
Yeah, I think it's also kind of one of the advantage that people can actually go by train to Kolari, and then from there actually they can start their journey quite easily. So
Yes.
if we think that people can travel maybe from south, if we think that from Helsinki or some other places, so they can actually go by train even if they are not traveling their own car.
That's
Yeah,
right. But in the summertime, it's not that many trains coming. I think this summer, because there are some rail work,
Yeah.
the train comes maybe twice or 3 times a week.
Okay. Yeah, like there are, I think many different kind of perspective of local entrepreneurs are there. Like, how do they see? And then, for example, this year, like when many people, like we are expecting or like hoping that people from like southern Finland will probably visit Lapland at least in the summertime, or many people will come. So, like, what kind of outdoor activities, if it's related with mountain biking or other thing, what can they expect here during summer? Can Reetta add here something?
well, at least there is like space, a lot of space, so it should be like more safer to stay here and be here than in a dense city. So let's hope that people are coming over here to Lapland. And also there has been some like positive impacts from COVID situation, which is otherwise super bad, but there we have seen like bicycle markets like booming on this spring because of the situation. Now people want to move around near their homes, so bicycle is the like best way for that. So that's why the cycling markets are booming. And also let's hope that people are traveling more in Finland because this situation, so there might be more people coming to Lapland, like Finnish tourists, but we'll see that. But at least we have a lot of space here in Lapland, so that's good.
Yeah, how do you see that? Like, well, Joel can have also these, can say something more about these. For example, summertime, biking in summer or mountain biking in summertime. What people can experience, or what is your opinion?
Well, some summers I have seen also like Dutch people coming over here. So there is like countries like Holland and Denmark, which are quite flat, but there is a lot of people cycling. So we have like mountain biking to offer them, and a lot of like different kind of natures, and not only the flat area. So you can really like experience something new and try downhill biking, but still not like extreme big mountains. So it's super easy place and nice place to start, and also you can find like harder roads if you want. So that's like one good thing, that we have a lot of like different kind of roads and mountain bike roads.
like how it would be, for example, like if I would ask from Joel, like what people can see, because like your work is mainly this to make it as a proper and potential place for summer biking and mountain biking. So what people can actually experience in summer if they, for example, come now, and
I,
what
I,
it
would-
is like they can get.
I would say that what is different here than in the Alps. Here we have lot of space, like Reetta told, but it's midnight sun. You can bike over the night. It's wilderness, pure wilderness. You can see the rangers are running. You can see smaller animals around here. Maybe you can find a moose by the trail. Not every time, but the rangers you can see almost every time you ride here.
Yeah.
It's the northern nature that has special character. It's not too hot here. If you go to the Alps in the summertime in July, it's too hot to bike there. So here you can really have a nice tempo, and it's how to say in a nice way. It's a very pleasant way to do activities. It's also possible to connect the biking to some other activities. I know several people who has or they rent e-bike. Take their fishing gear and they ride with a bicycle to the fishing spots around here. And also when you go a bit further north, there are many places that has nice fishing places that are pretty remote. By walking, then the access is by helicopter or by plane or by bicycle. So that's a pretty special case. Then it's possible to make a long bike trips. I would say it's bike packing that is a little bit different than trekking biking. So you have kind of a mountain bike that you can carry super light camping gear, and then you can ride, let's say, week or 10 days, and then you stay overnight in the nature. We have here also some open cabins and rental cabins in the wilderness that is possible to use for this kind of overnight trips.
Yeah.
I don't know, Marko, do you know if we have any services if someone's guiding here overnight bike trips?
At least I don't know in Ylläs area that no one's doing that, the longer tours. But if you are talking about like foreign tourists now, I've been taking several Swiss people to ride our local trails here on a national park on the summertime and on the wintertime. And I've been riding mountain bikes in Switzerland a few times, and I know that for me that's probably the best place in the world to ride mountain bikes. But still, the Swiss people, when they come here and like proper mountain bikers, not just basic tourists who comes to see the snow. But yeah, they've been really impressed in the summertime and in the winter time, because it's just well, the thing is that it's so different, and that's usually enough when it's totally different than what you're used to. And high up there on the fells on the summertime, yeah, they are not mountains, but they don't miss the mountains then. It's just totally different open landscape, and they love it also.
Yeah, I think it's also important, like what you said, that for example, what we see if people are coming from southern Finland to Lapland, they are like not necessarily using different kind of company services or guiding or these kind of things. Probably they would, for example, use or rent some kind of cabins or go on their own in different places. But if we consider about foreign tourists who are planning for coming to visit Lapland in summertime, and want to experience different kind of outdoor activities, try to this mountain biking and other things, for them, like it would be really potential thing to make such kind of atmosphere or environment so that they can like experience those during this summertime midnight sun. What do you say, like Marco? Is there something that, of course, like this year is kind of uncertain and all we know this Corona situation. So, but still, like
Yeah.
if we think about the future, about foreign tourists who would come here, or if someone listen this discussion later, so what would be a message for them?
Oh, for the foreign tourists.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we see them like I would say that it's quite rare to see the foreign tourist here compared to the Finns, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely worth the visit, the whole Lapland and the whole Lapland. I mean that we've been hearing the good news this spring about the ski results from all the Lapland. Everyone's saying that okay, now we are putting some money and effort to make the mountain biking and biking better in Lapland. So it's definitely worth the visit, not just Ylläs, but the whole Lapland. There will be more and more to ride your bike, more and more places.
Yeah. Like, how do you see, Reetta, this potentiality, like considering also local people, also like the foreign visitors? Like you said that there is a really huge possibility to experience many things in summertime. But how do you see this from the perspective of those people who are coming to visit Lapland, and then how they can actually, what kind of motivation they can get?
Well, when you are planning your trip, it's super important that there is like all the information online, so you can find the information, you can see the roads, what services there is, and what level of roads those are where you are going. And it's like important to also tell for the tourist that if it's not good place for them, so if some destination or some road is only for like experienced mountain bikers and it's not for families or not for kids, then it's good to tell and have the like honest information about the destination. So that's one of the most important things when planning a trip, that the destination has all the information and where to cycle and what services there is. So that's super important.
Yeah. Like Joel was telling us more about these projects and other things. How do you see this? Is it the same in some other places or in Lapland also? These possibilities of mountain biking and other things. How do you see, or do you have any like?
Yes, we have different kind of places. Like this here, we have a ski resort with a bike park, and then we have the national park. We have good services around, and the services are in 2 villages in both sides of the ski resort. But then, for example, when you go north from here 2 hours by car, then there are a pure wilderness trails. There are not even any signs. It's not allowed to put any signs there. It's wilderness area, and then you just have to go there by your own. But it's also, there are some official trails developed in some other project. It's available, the information is available online, and then they have also printed maps. In Saariselkä, for example, now they are developing trails there, and they have a project to promote the trails. It's kind of similar stuff than we have here. We have also enduro trails. For example, Levi, that is just a 1 hour drive from here. We have, I think famous or known enduro trails because they have enduro competition there, and they have run the competition several years. I don't know, Marko, do you remember? Maybe 5 to 10 years or something like that. At least 5 years.
Yeah, like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, and then it's a thing that is known in enduro biking people, among the enduro biking people. Then this summer happens a lot in the southern part of it's not really Lapland, but in southern part of northern part of Finland and a little bit south from Lapland. There's it's also that is a small ski resort. They are opening a bike park there, and then also the Ruka case. They are working a lot with biking, developing the biking.
Yeah.
But we have several different kind of places, and it's different type of biking here in different locations. So when the people are choosing where to go, they should check if it's good for what they want to do, what kind of biking they like, and they'll choose the destination according to that, and what kind of services they need.
Yeah, like what kind of biking, for example, are much more like expected, or like much more facilities are much more better in, for example, in Ylläs area or Saariselkä area?
In Ylläs we have some very easy trails for beginners. It's almost flat. It's not any special biking skills on it. If you can ride on the road, you can survive there. Then we have some pretty rough trails that goes higher up, and they are rocky and partly steep. In some little sections, it may be needed to carry the bike up, but then it's really nice singlet trails on the top of the hills and top of the hills. Then the bike park is also, of course, the own thing, but the aim is to develop some easy trails also into the bike park, so that it's possible to ride without any special skills. Yeah. For example, in Sweden, there are a couple of places that has bike park, and it's not extreme sport. It's more like family thing to do.
Yeah, that's really important, I think, like to make it, for example, in a way that people can have their, like if it comes a group of people, so they can all have their different kind of activities if it's related to the biking. So if there is a choice, for example, mountain biking, ped biking, or just cycling in the normal those trails, so they can all get to like have that experience at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah, and road biking in Lapland is also super beautiful, especially when it's like nightless nights. So I also recommend to do road biking over here.
Yeah. What is your experience, Reetta, like for example, about biking? If you can share us some interesting story.
Well, my like main cycling is just like cycling to store and cycling to work when I'm at the place at the office. But of course, I do a lot of mountain biking over here in Ylläs, but also some biking trips. One is like in Lapland has been from Nuorgam to Kemijärvi, and I with road bike, and it was also super nice trip, and it was nightless night then, so it was also nice. And then I saw a lot of people who are cycling through the Lapland to Nordkapp. It's the northmost point of Europe, so that sounds interesting also. It would be nice to do that also someday.
Yeah. So you think like those, for example, those bike road trips can be really amazing in summertime, at least how you experience it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, does Marko have any kind of these ideas how this biking can be like developed a bit much more better way, or is there some kind of thing you see that would be more important to increase that service?
Yeah, Personally, now I'm talking about maybe the Finnish people, the mountain bikers and like not mountain bikers, average tourists.
Yeah.
This is really important that there's a lot of these projects around Lapland in many places in Ruka, Iisasyöte, Saariselkä, for example.
Yeah.
That well, it's most of the Finnish people live in really far from here in the south, and it's quite a big step for them often to drive the 900 kilometers on their car here. But now when we are getting more and more places to ride your bike, it's getting easier for them to think that okay, now it's really we should go to Lapland because there's a lot of things to ride your bikes. That's really important. That makes, I think, that the growth comes from there. And yeah, I'm a mountain biker, and my like dearest mountain biking is to ride fast on my mountain bike. That's not what I'm often doing with my customers, but yeah, I love bike parks, and I'm really happy that we see a lot of bike parks in Lapland in the future.
Yeah, you are providing, or you have these services in your company, these fed biking, like for example in wintertime, what I see, like you have those normal tours almost all like every day or all the time. So
Yeah.
how do you see that if, for example, people are coming this winter time, what kind of fed biking experience they can get?
Well, that's like really unique here. I can say to people who I ride with in the wintertime that there actually are not too many places in the world that you can experience this kind of biking on a wintertime.
Yeah.
It's
What is that like? For example, unique thing they can get.
well,
Is
you
it
can
the
ride.
landscape, or is it the
You can
like
ride
this
on
winter?
you can ride on the middle of forest on your bike
Yeah.
on a winter time. That doesn't happen usually, but
Yeah.
it takes a lot of work from the organizations that maintain the trails. Even we ride on fat bikes,
Yeah.
and my bikes are all electric assisted fat bikes.
Yeah.
Even that, we still need the trails to be maintained. Otherwise, you're just carrying your bike. It's not riding too much, but it's been so well organized here that it's really wonderful thing in the wintertime. And personally, it's a really small company, mine, and I have like usually I take people to ride on my private trails. So there's like a less than 20 kilometers of loop that we usually ride. That's a normal tour, and I maintain it myself. And there's a few places that there's like fireplaces and other things there. But yeah, the winter biking is at the moment the winter biking in Lapland is better than summer biking.
Yeah.
It's
So you
just
think
it's
like
fantastic.
for example, if someone wants to experience the fed biking in Lapland in this winter outdoor, so you are telling that people should come to Ylläs area because of those
Yeah,
trails
at the
and
moment,
like special like these landscapes and trails, well
yeah, at the
maintained trails
moment
and those.
I'm 100% sure that the Ylläs is best place in the Lapland to do that. It's really well organized, the trail maintaining and that, and there's a lot of rental bikes in the area. It's just working really nicely here.
Yeah. So, Reetta, have you seen these, for example, these winter biking, like fed biking and other those activities as how like the potentiality and also like how it could be good like outdoor activity for other people like who are coming to visit there?
Well, cycling in general is like a super good outdoor sport, and you get the health benefits. So you can also say that you are like doing a health traveling when you are coming to cycle over here. So that's one of the benefits of the cycling. And what Marko was talking, and what we have been also talking, we have seen here in Lapland, like the movement from the like motorized sport to the cycling,
Yeah.
which is super good and sustainable way. And about 10 years ago, I was first time working at Ylläs area. So then I was working at Lapland Safaris then, and there was company full of motor, how do you say it? Moottorikelkka.
Yeah.
No
Yeah,
mobile.
yeah, snowmobile, exactly. So there was a lot of snowmobiles, but nowadays every company, they have snowmobiles, but they have also the bikes. So we have really seen the movement that there is now more and more bikes all over the Lapland at the moment. So that's super good. And we are seeing the same development in the cities. So the Finnish cities are also investing on cycling, and
Yeah.
also the state is investing. And one of our works at the moment is to update the bicycle design guidelines for the roads for the whole Finland. So we're getting like better cycling possibilities in Finland in future. So that's good.
Yeah, like do you see like well some kind of challenge? What are the challenges like in these biking outdoor activities in Lapland? Do you see there are some kind of challenges what are like important to consider or to work with?
Yes, well, it's the same. The infrastructure, that's the challenge. We need to have the proper infrastructure also on the roads, and also on the mountain bike roads. So there is still a lot more to develop. So that's one of the main issues, and also the like travel chain, that you can really come by train, and then you don't have to have your own car, that you can really arrive by train and then take your bike and go where you want. And also like combining services and train and bike and the destinations. I think that's the challenge, and there is a lot of things to do with infrastructure also.
So you when you say is that you are saying these combining those different kind of services, destination and other things. Do you mean that like the local entrepreneurs or companies or like service providers, like how to combine with their service biking and outdoor activities? Is it that?
Yeah, that is one issue, but also like combining the travel chain. So it's challenged that it should be even easier to take your bike to train and then continue your travel and then find the service. So that you really have all the information, and then you really have to have the infrastructure that it's easy to travel. I think it's already nice in Finland, but there is still more to do.
Yeah, like here, Yoel is working in this project, like how all these like different kind of obstacles can be minimized and it can be become more potential area for biking and outdoor activities. Like how do you see Yoel? Like what are like the challenges now, like to improve that situation, or what can be done?
In the summertime, the public traffic could be better, more connections, and better connections in better times. Then also we have some challenges in the summertime. For example, August, that is a very nice time for bike riding here. We don't have that much services open because in Finland July is often the main holiday season, and then in August some of the services are closed because it's not that many people visiting. But for example, last summer we saw that in August we had many people visiting. Many people on bikes. Rental bikes were out a lot, but still we didn't have, for example, any wilderness cafes open in August. But this summer we try to get it so that every day we have some wilderness coffee open.
Yeah.
Also in October we had a short autumn holiday week.
Yeah.
It's a week. Is it second week in October or something like that? And then we suddenly had a lot of people here. And then again, many services were closed. Other challenges for the winter season, the ski trail and bike trail maintenance, it costs a lot of money, and it's the travel association who is that is collecting the money, and it's a lot of work to be sure that we are able to collect the money for the maintenance. And at the moment we are trying to find new ways to ensure that we will have enough resources in the future to run the maintenance and to develop it, and also to develop the summer trails. Everything costs, so the companies they are supporting, then it's the municipality that is supporting, but then the rest is collected from the people who visit here. For example, we are selling maps, that all the money from the maps goes straight to the trail maintenance.
Yeah, like, is there, you said that like the resources are like kind of limited, like the resources need to be more increased or improved. What kind of resources like they are?
The resources that I mean that we need, it's the trail grooming machines and the trail snowmobile that has the grooming machine behind it. It also costs money to run them. For example, I think we have something like 300 kilometers of ski trails and 100 kilometers of winter biking trails, and it's maintained, if not daily, at least 3-4 times a week. And it's hundreds of thousands euros per season. I think it's about something between 400 and 500,000 euros that it costs to maintain the trails in the winter time only.
Yeah.
In the summertime, it's in the national park, it's the Parks and Wildlife Finland who is taking care of the trails. So most of the trail development money in the summertime in the national park comes from the government.
Yeah, like I want to just I was interested to know, like, because you had a long experience working with these outdoor and biking and mountain biking and different kind of those like developing those services in many areas. Can you tell us something about that, like about your experiences about developing
Yeah, how
different
far
kind
I should go? I was guiding here the first time, season 2003, 2004. It was mostly cross-country skiing, but since that, I've been doing some kind of tracking or trail safety development in Ruka. Then I run a mountain biking project in Lyngenfjord area that is in northern Norway. Then I've been guiding in Tromsø. It was winter season. I've been tracking Oulu trails. It was just every man's trails, just the natural trails that has been developed around the city. And I made author's edition map to that place. Then I've been helping this Enontekiö trails. I did a map for them. I've been involved in one application development company, so we are developing an app and a web service to share the trail information.
Yeah.
Then I run a trail safety project pilot here at Ylläs a couple of years ago. And what else? Then I've been riding a little bit in the Alps and around northern Scandinavia.
Yeah. Like you have a long experience, I would say, like regarding this biking and this outdoor activities. Like how, like then I have a question for you that how do you see these, for example, according to your own experience, what kind of infrastructure or what kind of resources are need to develop to in Lapland in general, not only in Ylläs area but in Lapland? What kind of things are really important for biking and outdoor activities like mountain biking or winter biking, fed bike, or in all these areas?
The most important thing is to develop the trails. For example, if you compare to the climbing, if it's a very interesting place to go for climbing, anyways, even though it's far away, you have to fly and you have to hike hours and you have to do this and that to reach the place. The people will find a place if it's worth to visit. So the main thing is to develop the trails. I would say at the moment, it's the trend is to develop flowy build trails. For example, this kind of development we see in Sweden, in Norway, and also in the Alps, and of course, not to mention even the States and Canada. Canada is kind of maybe the most developed place for trail biking. But here it's just few people, not that many visitors yet. I would see that we cannot really compete to the resource that has millions to put on the trails. So we are running these small projects, and for example, this project that I'm leading now, it's development project, and we cannot invest. And if we build trails, that is an investment. So actually, in this project, we just make plans, and then the investment money has to come from other sources. Other things that we need to develop, of course, we have to find, if we cannot beat the other locations, the big resorts, just by developing trails, we need to have interesting trails. What can be attractive here, we have lots of natural trails, and that can be advanced in some way. But of course, like what we are doing in this project, it has to be possible to arrive here, to come here, to have right information, what kind of trails we have, what kind of skills you need to have when you come here, how you should prepare for this kind of places when you come to visit here. How the weather is, when it's good to come, what do you have to take with you when you come? Is it rentals available? How I can book a guide, and so on.
Yeah. Like there, like you said that those are many things to develop, and then when people are coming to, for example, biking or like to experience nightless night bike or winter cold night at during that time fed biking in Lapland areas. So people need to know like where they're going, what is kind of services they can get, and what kind of trails are there. So is there something that you are also trying to develop, some kind of, let's say, some online service or something, or some kind of map or like application or something like that from where people can get those easily?
At the moment, the main information source here is the Ylläs webpage. What we have done already, we have been doing some new trail descriptions. So before the project, we had like 3 trails in this trail finder that we have there online. At the moment, we have 13, and this summer we will do some more. since we're doing official trails, we have to handle all the landowner permissions and so on, and cooperate with the reindeer herders, cooperate with the Metsähallitus that owns most of the forest here outside of the national park. And when everything is all right, then we can publish a trail and trail description.
Yeah.
We also, like I mentioned, and we put a link under the Facebook live. So we are doing some promotion material.
Okay.
To help to get the view of what kind of biking here is. This summer we do the summer videos. This winter video that is linked there, it's done in January this year.
Okay. Yeah. Like, is there something that, like, in these kind of information providing, there's something to be done? What, Reetta, you think? Like, is there something like certain kind of like application or whatever things, like what kind of how it can be like more easily accessible, or how it will probably would be developed?
Yeah, it can be application. It can be on internet side, or it can be also in the Facebook. But it needs to be like easy access, and you need to have like a whole area and the different kind of trails and roads and the services and opening hours and everything over there, so you can easily find it. And Joel was talking about the investments. So the cycling investments has been rising in Finland, so that's super good. So hopefully we get also more resources for cycling tourism. And also there has been a new like a cycling travel center like opened, and there is two new employees working at the moment. So hopefully we get like better information for the whole Finland, what the roads are and where to travel by bike. And I really hope that the investments on cycling keeps on rising on government's level, but also in municipalities. So that's one important thing, that governments invest on cycling, and it will help everybody with the sustainable tourism also.
Yeah, like that now you said the sustainable tourism, and you are also sustainable mobility expert. Like
Yeah.
how those are connected here, like when you are developing different kind of biking trails and other kind of outdoor activities where you are involved in. So how do you see the sustainable tourism in Lapland?
Well, it's like strongly linked, because when you travel, you need to choose how do you go to your destination. So you can choose a like sustainable way to go, and you can like walk, go by bike, or go by train or public transportation. And then there is like plane and car and other options. But the more sustainable it is, then the whole tourism is more sustainable. So that's strongly linked together. And
Yeah,
we are
what are
trying.
the, yeah, if you can say some examples, like what can be those sustainable tourism choices, what people can choose or think?
Yeah, well, example to Lapland, you can choose the night train to come by train to Lapland, and then you can choose like cycling in Lapland example, and choose like local companies, and choose your like sustainable food and so on in traveling.
Yeah. Yeah, do you think that like this current corona situation and those uncertain like this crisis, it's going to affect these, for example, this biking and outdoor activities?
Yeah, it will, and it already has been affecting, and especially in the cities. In cities, there has been like a lot more people moving around the city, in like near the city. But we hope that this summer people could also travel a little bit inside our country. So probably it's changing the situation that people are traveling more in their own country, which is also more sustainable way to travel.
Yeah, I think Marco can also say something like one of viewer asking like what is the difference of like biking in winter and summer? Like can
Oh, the difference.
yeah, like if Marco can say something like you were a guide.
Yeah, well, it's like biking in winter and summer, so totally different, of course. Um, well, the winter riding here, the trails are always smooth, maintained, so it's like a technically really easy, and it's like it's for everyone, and especially for e-assisted bikes. There are some, of course, some altitude difference on the trails, but on e-assisted bikes, it's really easy. It's just I've been riding with people who probably wouldn't ride these our summer trails, even they are not technically difficult, but still, even older people, small children, everyone can ride the winter trails. In the summertime, and most of our trails, well, yeah, the most of our trails are quite easy because there's like there's the surface has been made, so it's not rocky. Of course, we have some more difficult riding here if you want to do that, but yeah, the winter riding is much easier than in the summertime.
Okay, yeah. Like I
I
think
could,
like
I
there
could add
like somehow
one
people
thing.
like those. Yeah, you are like
Yep.
telling
Yeah,
something.
I would like to add one thing. There are actually a couple of things. In winter time, the weather it can be something from 0 Celsius to minus 20, 25 Celsius. And in the summertime, the temperature is somewhere between 15, 20. Some days maybe here 25 degrees, but it's not that many of them. So that's a big difference also between the summer and winter time biking, and not to mention that in winter time the fat biking is on the snow, so the trails are snow made on the snow where the people are riding. The question came
Yeah,
from Bangladesh, so just to make sure.
yeah. Like also Marco and Joel are saying that like it's kind of different in summer and winter time. Like even though it's pet biking or like mountain biking and like normally cycling in the Lapland wilderness, it's like I see it like much more amazing when you can when you're passing by those roads and then like it's so peaceful and relaxing outside an atmosphere, and especially like if it's summer and then the midnight sun and nightless night, so it's actually like you are having like many days at the same time, and then you can actually feel that you are biking in the day and then at the same time having that experience of 24 hours of light.
Yes, and something that we haven't been discussing yet, in autumn time and in winter time, it's possible to ride in the dark, and it means that the bicycles can have a very good lights on them. So it's possible to ride bikes in a dark time, and when it's dark here, it's possible. It's not happening always, but it's possible to see the northern lights. So it's possible to
Yeah.
connect the northern lights and biking.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Like I haven't tried yet, but like I had also kind of planned that like in some maybe fed biking sometime in winter time to experience these northern lights. I think in Ylläs or in some other areas also like you can actually find these beautiful spots to explore these northern lights if you are biking, and it's not that it's not scary or it's not that hard even if it's dark that time.
Hmm.
I think like Marco have this experience like when you are guiding those fat
Yeah,
bike rides.
yeah. We also ride tours on the nighttime, just hopefully to experience the northern lights, and had a really good track record last winter. We saw them quite often.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really special.
Yeah, that's true. Like, does Reetta want to see some kind of like what it would be like if you want to say some kind of suggestion for like the Lapland's biking outdoor activities improvement.
Well, probably I would like to see improvements on the roads in all over the Finland. There has been like tradition like in every other country that the roads has been planned for cars, and now we're like changing the system and seeing the change that there is also other transportation modes, and bicycle is one of those. So we are seeing already change. There is big change in Oulu and in Helsinki, in cities in Finland. And I used to work as a cycling coordinator in the city of Helsinki. So there is a lot of happening with the bicycle roads at the moment, but I wanted to work more from Lapland, so that's why I changed to work for Ramboll. And I'm happy that the cycling business is growing because we all have now more work with cycling, so that's great. And I really want to see the rise of a bicycle as a transportation mode.
Okay, yeah, this I think it's a good suggestion that like if biking can be one of the main this outdoor activity, and it also can like be quite a good potential for also the whole tourism in Lapland. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Marco, do you have any kind of suggestion or any kind of thing that we want to say that like what could be improved, and what do you think would be good to do?
Yeah, well, as a mountain biker living in Lapland, the main thing for me is that I would like, for example, those two professionals to get us to build us more places to ride, more nice trails and opportunities, and then let's just ride bikes.
Yeah, like do you think that like what is your suggestion that like now that people are in many places, people are staying at home, not really traveling, and what are your suggestion for them, like when situation becomes a bit more easier, or next year, like when people want to or maybe can travel that time? Do you have any suggestion for them?
Oh yeah, of course. It's already the government is saying that it's a bit more allowed to move, and yeah, of course you should come here, and because there's a lot of room for everyone. You don't when you come here and spend your let's say a week of your holiday, you can spend it so that you don't have to go to places where there are some people. So everyone come here. It's good
Yeah,
to
okay. Like you're welcoming people like whenever the situation becomes easier. So just come to
yeah
Lapland for biking and to experience
yeah
this nightless night or like the dark night, and then experience the northern lights.
yeah.
Yeah, like you are like there was a question also like how it's this Corona situation actually affected this biking in Lapland or biking activities. Have you seen any kind of changes or any like any kind of effect there?
Yeah, I would like to add one more thing for the previous question, that I want to encourage people to book a guide, even for the Finnish people. Book a guide that takes you out and try the experience, because riding with a guide it gives much more. But about the pandemic situation, how it affected here already, we closed all winter and ski trails and ski resort in March, I guess, or was it in early April? and 1/3 of the winter season was closed. But now everything is open. It's allowed to go for hiking. It's allowed to go for biking here. The snow is almost melted already, and now when the terrain is drying a bit, it's nicer to go out. It's relatively safe place to visit. It's lots of private cabins, so you can spend your time with your own people. We have a shop here that has all the safety things. You can put some disinfection on your hands and use gloves when you go for shopping. And we have already some restaurants open. It's allowed to keep them open, but half of the tables are taken away. So we are following the regulations, and it's allowed to come here. We wish people to visit us and just pay attention that if you are sick, then stay at home and get better, and then come here when you are better.
Yeah.
But we don't really know the summer effect yet. How much people and visitor we will get here. We are waiting that the Finnish people will travel a lot to the Lapland this summer, because it's not very smart to travel abroad yet. Also, if the Norway and Sweden border will be open, then I guess we will get some visitors also from Scandinavia to all over Lapland, of course, not only to Ylläs. But in general, I think how the COVID will infect the tourism, global tourism. These kind of places that has a lot of space, a lot of privacy, they will get more visitors than the places that are crowded.
Yeah.
Also, I could add that I think in the long term, cycling will rise, because now many people has bought a new bicycle, so probably in the coming years they will use it more.
Yeah, that's true. How is this now that it's already June and summer is started in many places? What is the situation, for example, in Ylläs?
Snow has been melting down here. We don't really have snow anymore. Rivers are flooding in Kittilä and Rovaniemi. Some houses are surrounded by water.
Yeah.
But the flooding here, it's not that serious than in some other places where the flooding is taking the cars and houses away, and people are really in problems. Here we are worried about the houses are getting wet. Basically, that's the biggest problem. The temperature now, I think it's somewhere around 15 degrees, but the recent days has been very warm, 20-25, something between. Today we got some rain, but it has been really dry and pretty weather about a week or something.
Yeah.
And a lot of reindeers walking around. Because today I was working with my computer, and then I heard what's going on outside, and there was 5 reindeers walking.
Okay. Have you been doing this biking recent days, Reetta?
Yeah, I have been.
How the outdoor weather or the trails, how it looks now?
Well, the trails are wet still, so I think it takes some time that those trails are good. But now it has been super good time to do road cycling, and also cycle on some roads, not trails yet. But I think Marko has been already biking on the trails, so it has been quite wetty times.
Yeah, I've been testing some summer trails already, and there's few days ago there were still a lot of snow patches, and some places that summertime you don't see any water. It was about knee deep water, and but the flood is going down, and snow is melting fast, so I think it only takes a few days, and there will be a lot of trails to ride your mountain bike.
Yeah, and that's true. Like there are of course many different kind of maybe it will improve in the recent days and quite fast because it was so warm even in the south and in different parts of Lapland, though it might be kind of a rainy or a bit kind of a cold, or sometime I see maybe in a few years ago, sometime in early June there was some kind of snow as well, so it can be different as well even in summertime. Does Reetta want to say something? Like if we want to finish soon, so what would you say for example, what is important to do this biking outdoor activities improvement, or is there something you want to just say for the people?
Well, for EU and governance and municipalities, it's important to invest on cycling because there is a lot of benefits, health benefits, environmental benefits, and then it's also compact mode in the cities to move. And also it's for all of us, cycling is fun way to move around, just as a transportation mode, but also as a sport mode like mountain biking. And cycling is one sustainable way to change the world, and cycling is the thing where you can join and you can be the change by yourself and start cycling.
Okay, yeah, that's really a good suggestion. I think those are important, for those policymakers, if they understand that how this is not just only biking or just a normal outdoor activity, it can actually benefit in many other areas: tourism, local companies, accommodation, and sustainability, and also these what we are doing this, it does have many benefits also. So if it's possible to invest there and then make a different kind of development plan, it will also uh, like uh, mm, increase in different ways this um, the financially, or in many other ways in the whole tourism sector, I think. What do if we go back to the oil?
Yes, I would like to see that we get some more investment money available that we are able to use for the trail and for the other facilities to invest and develop. And but say I hope to see more biking people here to try the first time and to discover the biking places in Lapland. It's a very special place to visit with a bicycle.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We are almost at the end of our discussion. I think there are many points and many things to talk about biking and this outdoor, and then it does need lots of time as well. It's not when we there are many different things that are connected with this, and then we need more time, and then it's just not really enough for just have a 1 hour, 1.5 hour discussion. But still, what Marko would say, if you want to say some kind of last words.
Yeah. Well, all the developments and the new trails. Oh, I would love to have those, but the most important thing is just to ride your bikes.
Yeah, right, and
That's
welcome
it.
to Lapland for biking. Yeah, thank you, Marko, thank you, Joel, and thank you very much, Reetta, as well. These who are watching this live, you will see this live also from our website. You can find it, all our live discussion from the website, ourlapland.fi/live. Here you can see in the screen that address. So from there you will see all of our lives in the saved format, and then you can watch those anytime. And then we will have also like different teams discussion in the coming weeks. So keep in touch, and then thank you all of our guests, and it was really interesting, and lots of new things came up in this discussion. I hope like those who are watching and then those who are working in improving different kind of outdoor activities and working in the tourism sector, they have many different points and many good suggestions from this discussion, and they can also use that. And probably we'll see in the coming years there will be kind of many more positive changes. Yeah, thank you very much. And then we will finish here. And those who are watching, please visit our Facebook page and YouTube. Also, you can find those videos there, and then keep us connected. And then we will come back with some other different important issues and about Lapland. So thank you very much.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.